Namaste. This is the second video of Trishakun.tv channel that we launched on the 15th of August 2022. And the first one was on the real story of India's partition, which many of you appreciated for all the details and information that was shared in that. आप सबको उसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. ये दूसरा जो वीडियो है वो भी एक पार्टीशन की कहानी से है. एक ऐसी कहानी जो अब सब भूल चुके हैं और शायद बहुत कम जगह पे कहीं पर उसका जिक्र आया है. वो कहानी है सेठ कल्याण दास जी की. बहुत कम लोग उनको अब जानते हैं, पर पार्टीशन से पहले वो एक बहुत अमीर आदमी थे. He was one of the greatest philanthropists on the west side of Ravi. He used to live in Multan. He also had a house in Dera Ismail Khan. जो डेरा इस्माइल खान का घर था उसके पास से एक नदी की एक ट्रिब्यूटरी बहती थी. एक छोटा सा नदी का नाला टाइप था जहाँ पानी भरा रहता था. स्पेशली समर्स में जब थोड़ा पानी ज़्यादा भरता था सिंधु नदी में तो वहाँ पानी और ज़्यादा निकलता था. तो गर्मियों के दिन थे जब एक फेस्टिवल वो मनाया करते थे. उसका नाम था ध्वनि. और उस ध्वनि फेस्टिवल में उनके दोस्त जो साहूकार वगैरह थे, उनके फैमिली एंड फ्रेंड्स, वो सब आया करते थे. And there was a reservoir where they would all jump and swim and have fun. हलवाई बुलाया करते थे वो, and the halwais would cook puris and kachoris and halwa, and everybody would have fun. कल्याण दास जी की एक और भी ट्रेडिशन थी, और वो ट्रेडिशन थी कि he used to welcome the razdharis. Razdharis were actually the roving bands from Vrindavan. And they would come all the way from Vrindavan and sing poems and songs in praise of Radha, Krishna and the gopis. वो रास लीला करते थे और उनको देखने के लिए आसपास के सारे नेबर्स, आसपास के गांव के लोग भी आया करते थे. और जो तो बैल्कनी से देख सकते थे वो देखते थे, और कई लोग ज्वाइन इन भी करते थे. सब लोग सेठ कल्याण दास को अच्छे से जानते थे. इवन जो वहाँ के मुस्लिम्स थे वो भी अपनी दिक्कतें लेकर उनके पास आया करते थे. एंड ही वुड रिजॉल्व द कम्युनिटी डिस्प्यूट्स ऑफ द मुस्लिम्स एज वेल. सो द मुस्लिम्स एक्चुअली ट्रस्टेड हिम क्वाइट अ लॉट. जब 1947 जब शुरू हुआ और जिन्ना और उनके मुस्लिम लीग के जो लीडर्स थे, दे हैड ऑलरेडी स्टार्टेड amassing a military, a semi-military of 50,000 strong cadre of the Muslim League National Guard, जिसके बारे में हमने पिछले एपिसोड में बात किया. और they had already hoarded petrol and lorries and jeeps and guns and swords. तलवारें और बंदूकें उन्होंने इकट्ठी की, लॉरीज इकट्ठी की और जीप्स इकट्ठी की. और वो तैयार हुए कि कैसे गांव से गांव से गांव, शहर से शहर जाएंगे, लोगों को मारेंगे. चलती लॉरी में से कैसे लोगों को मारना है उसकी उनको ट्रेनिंग दी गई. वहाँ पहुँच के उन्होंने कैसे लोगों को मारना है, स्टैब कैसे करना है, उस सब की ट्रेनिंग और सर्टिफिकेशन दोनों दी गई. मार्च की बात है 1947 की. सेठ कल्याण दास जी अपने मुल्तान के बंगले में थे. उस समय उनके साथ एक और शख्स भी थे. उनका नाम था सैफुद्दीन किचलू. वो कांग्रेस के एक बहुत बड़े नेता भी थे. And the Muslim League National Guard's mob had surrounded the Seth's mansion. And Seth Kalyan Das thought, I'm such a big philanthropist here and everybody listens to me, especially the Muslims. They trust me. So why don't I go and reason it out? So he was absolutely sure that he could, reason out with that mob and the religious madness of the mob notwithstanding, he went down. He confidently rushed out to reason with the mob, but before he could even start, they did something that he could have never thought of. They got hold of him, they killed him, they cut him into pieces and threw the pieces of his body on the door of his mansion. And then that bloodthirsty jihadi mob went ahead and one by one killed the rest of his family. Dr. Saifuddin Kichlu was actually in his house that day. They brought him out, they stripped him naked to just check whether he was a Muslim or not by checking his circumcision. And once they were sure that he was a Muslim, they were about to kill him, but other Muslims in that mob said, to kill a Muslim is against the religion. So Kichlu was saved, but he was beaten quite badly. The Seth Kalyan Das ji ki jo palatial mansion thi Multan mein, that was totally destroyed, burned down, and completely rendered useless. You can see it in the photographs. The story of Seth Kalyan Das is quite representative of what happened across the land at that time of Punjab, Sindh, Northwest Frontier Province and Multan. But it is not just restricted to that geography and that time. The same stories are repeated. They were repeated in Bengal, they were repeated in Bihar, they were repeated in Kashmir. Those who have the money think that their love and their altruism is enough of a shield. They have a swagger. They have a swagger, you see. They have a sense of confidence that when some madmen come knocking, they will be able to reason with them. The Seth Kalyan Dases of the society have not realized until now that the mobs really do not give a rat's ass about their reputation, their money, their good heart, their altruism, their puris, the halwas and kachoris, and all the rest of it. They are cut to pieces because a piece of their skin has remained intact. One thought kept hounding me when I first read the story of Seth Kalyan Das, which was that he knew the top Congress leaders at that time. They and everybody else knew the intent and the preparation, or at least should have known the intent and the preparation and the weaponry that the Muslim League National Guards was trying to amass. Everyone also knew about the hatred of Jinnah against the Hindus and what it could have wrought, what he was trying to ask, what he was trying to plan. Especially the Muslim leaders at least should have known what was going to happen. Why is it that Seth Kalyan Das did not invest in his own security? Why is it that he could not create a defense force of his own, large enough to defend the common folks and his family from the madness of the Muslim League National Guards? Why did his altruism and all the good nature just stop with his puris and halwas and kachoris? Why did his philanthropy not include investing in the fighters and the guns when it was needed for the defense of all that he held dear? These are very important and critical questions. The only explanation that I have found is that because he believed in the goodness in everyone, so much so that when the worst in everyone came knocking, he did not know how to handle it. Altruists and do-gooders want only to engage in the goodness of a human being. What they don't understand is that there are enough power-hungry folks out there who can arouse what is the ugliest in a human being. And that ugliest will cut you and your family into pieces. Having money, wealth, comforts will not ensure the security and safety of you and your family, least of all your culture and all that you hold dear. So part of your responsibility has to be to create a structure that anticipates and defends against the madness that ran amok during the partition, the 1980s, the 1990s, and the rest of the years. If you aren't investing in creating such structures that provide security and safety to you, your loved ones, your altruism, your goodness, then you really are an ally of the mob which intends to cut you and your dear ones into pieces. Thank you. अगर आपको हमारी स्टोरीज और हमारा कंटेंट अगर अच्छा लगे So please subscribe to our Dristikon channel, YouTube channel, and also subscribe to our Dristikon weekly newsletter that comes out every Sunday night Indian Standard Time. Thank you so much. Namaste. Jai Hind.